Hello again, how's it going guys? We are back with another microgreens growing experiment, and this time what I want to do is grow the same microgreen using 4 different types of growing media. The first one I want to try is jute or hessian or burlap, depending where you come from. This is basically part of an old sack. I've cut it up and I'm going to use this 2-ply. The second method I'm going to use is kitchen roll. Now a lot of people use this method to chip their seeds, but we are going to try and grow microgreens on this kitchen roll. And the next one we're going to try is this substance called Terrafibre. That's a brand name. There are lots of similar products out there which are basically the same thing. It's made from hemp, and I do believe it is specifically manufactured for the cause. And then finally we're just going to use some regular potting soil. Normally I would have it quite a bit deeper than this, but seeing that this is the size of the trays that we are using in this experiment, I'm going to be making this potting soil work pretty damn hard. And the trays that we're going to be growing them in are just lids from these takeaway trays. I've made a few holes in them, and if needed I will put another one underneath just to keep a little bit of moisture in. I'm going to try and keep this as fair as possible, but you know, I'm not a big operation, I'm not a commercial grower, I'm just a small guy at home doing a few experiments. Okay then, let's get things started. Let's go over to the operating table. The type of microgreen that we're going to be growing is yellow mustard, and this came from the shelf of the supermarket. Now the reason we're growing yellow mustard is because 1, we like it, 2, it grows very fast, and 3, it is dirt cheap. Now we're just going to use 1 tablespoon per tray. I do find it a little easier to transfer it to a little shaky bottle. I can sow a lot more evenly. Now I know that there's enough moisture in here to last them a while, so I'm just going to tuck them away in the dark and I'll come back to them in a couple of days time. Okay, so a little update after 48 hours. Let's just take a look. Now this is the soil on top, and we can see the root hairs are in. This has taken pretty good. That's pretty good for 2 days actually on the soil. Just leave that off a minute. And on the Terrafibre, well, the Terrafibre's not done quite so well. Actually the ones on the edges, you can see a few shoots coming from them, but on the whole nowhere near as good as the soil at this point. And the next one is the paper towel. Just take this wax paper off the top here. The paper towel, well, a little bit of germination, again not a lot. And finally on the hessian or the burlap. In fact the burlap's done pretty good. That's quite a lot like the soil. You can see got a lot of root hairs on that. Now I don't know if the burlap and the soil had a little bit more air in them. One was on the top, one was on the bottom, the other 2 was in the middle. I'm going to give these another couple of days in the stack, or at least 1. So what I'll do this time is I'll make sure the 2 that were on the top and the bottom are now in the middle, and the 2 that were in the middle are now on the top and the bottom. Just trying to keep it as fair as I possibly can. Yeah, we'll check back up on these in another, let's say, 48 hours. Okay, we are 7 days into this now, and I'm just going to stop the whole thing. This is the one with a thin layer of soil, and it is a very thin layer of soil, as you can see, and it's absolutely done the best after 7 days. But the Terrafibre, I've gotten zero germination, no germination whatsoever. The paper towel got a little bit, and then the burlap or the hessian a little bit more. What I'm going to do is, I just think I've got something wrong. This Terrafibre should have worked. I mean, it's the real McCoy stuff. It is not like a cheap knockoff or anything. This is the branded product. I should have got some germination. So I'll put this down to the fact that I may have got something wrong. I'm going to start it again in deeper trays, and I'm going to probably go 3 or 4 ply with the burlap. I'm probably going to go 4 or 5 ply with the paper towel. I might go a little bit thicker with the soil, but the Terrafibre, I'm just going to use a single layer again. That's all it should require. I think what I'm going to do this time though is I am going to leave it in the dark with the weight on until I'm absolutely 100% sure that the seeds have germinated. Okay, let's try again. Okay, here we go again. We'll give them a few days in the dark, and then we'll come back to them and take a look. And after just a few days, we have pretty much exactly the same results as last time. The microgreens grown in soil has given us a real nice tray of microgreens indeed. The burlap or hessian has given us, what, half a tray. The paper towel has not done very well at all, and the Terrafibre, I'm going to start calling it terrible fibre, has gave us absolutely zero. I'm very, very disappointed in this. I've followed the instructions as it says on the card here, and I've also did a bit of YouTubing to see how other people are using it. It's just not working for me. With the soil, I just get the seeds and I throw it on the soil, I water them, and this is what we get. Now, the Terrafibre has got to work in the same way. Otherwise, what is the point of me having it? I'm sure that there'll be some suggestions saying, have you tried this, have you tried that? But why should I be trying anything different? I just want the seeds to work, and it hasn't done that. I do like the idea of the cleanliness. Sometimes when you pull microgreens that are grown in soil, it pulls a little bit of soil up with it, which is not great, it's not ideal. With a Terrafibre, it's a lot cleaner. But if it's not working, it ain't working. I will continue to experiment. I will be trying different products on it because the mustard is clearly not growing on it. Maybe I'll try radish or cress. But for now, I think I am going to continue growing my microgreens in soil, and I'll use up whatever Terrafibre I've got in experiments, but I very much doubt I'll be buying any more. It's 7:30 in the morning right now, so it's a little bit early for a beer. I do have a little bit of Baileys in the coffee. That is my experiment using different growing medias, and until next time, cheers.